sides to remain far apart.
No.
This is a breaking news alert. Shots fired at the White House. Moments ago, dozens of shots were being fired in and around the White House. We saw reporters like Selena Wang and others who were doing reports right at the White House lawn had to shut down the reports as people were scrambling. Let me tell you the latest about what we've learned, and then I'm going to show you some of the video footage. But shots fired at the White House. We just learned that the suspect has indeed died after the Secret Service apparently returned fire on the suspect. Here's what CNN said moments ago.
We just have a statement from the Secret Service who has updated that the suspect has died, according to the Secret Service. I'm just going to read this statement. They say shortly after 6 p.m. Saturday, an individual approached a Secret Service checkpoint in the area of 17th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest. A preliminary investigation indicates the individual approached. He removed a weapon from his bag and began firing at posted officers. Secret Service officers returned fire, striking the suspect, who was transported to an area hospital where he later died. They also confirmed that a bystander was struck by gunfire. They say it remains unclear whether that bystander was struck by the suspect's initial gunfire or during the subsequent exchange. No injuries were sustained by Secret Service. The president was at the White House and was not impacted. Again, this is coming from the White House press office and from the U.S. Secret Service spokesperson. But again, the news here, adding to what we had already known, is that this suspect has died.
The other person very seriously injured. Secret Service agents say they were fired at and returned fire. Between 15 and 30 shots were fired. Several officers were evaluated at the scene. None were hospitalized. That's what CBS is reporting. Here's what state regime media Fox is reporting. A gunman approached the White House near Gate 17 around 6 p.m., fired 3 shots toward the building. Secret Service agents returned fire, taking him down. A civilian was also hit during the exchange. Officials say the suspect never breached the White House perimeter. They're saying that Donald Trump is safe as of now. Let me show you this video right here. The moment the gunfire started, we started hearing this gunfire. Reporter Selena Wang of ABC, she was filming this social media video from the White House lawn when dozens of gunshots rang out. Let me show you what went down.
That President Trump has said a deal is close, only for the two sides to remain far apart.
No.
Now, she says that we were told to sprint to the press briefing room where we are holding now. Wang posted this video after the chaotic scene. Moments ago, we also saw this footage when the gunshots were ringing out near the White House. News reporters were live on site. Here, play this clip.
Memorial Day since 2022. President Trump promises the prices will go down, but his grip on Republican support on Capitol Hill is weakening.
There's shots fired. You have to get down. Shots. There are shots fired. You're going down.
Yeah, we might be there. Go down. Okay.
I'm here.
In addition, NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Julie Serskin was preparing to report from the White House when multiple shots were heard. Here's what went down when she was reporting. Let's play this clip.
Today, but this obviously comes.
And you can also see in this next video, turn the sound up a little bit here, Secret Service ordering members of the press to abandon their reporting pods on the north lawn of the White House and go toward the briefing room after dozens of shots were heard nearby. Jennifer Jacobs of CBS writes, 2 hit by gunfire outside the White House. The suspect and the possible bystander taken to the hospital. The Secret Service posted the following. We are aware of reports of shots fired near 17th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest and are working to corroborate information with personnel on the ground. Additional information will be provided. Take a look at this map right here. As Gary Collins writes, sources say that the U.S. Secret Service shot 2 men outside of the White House on the 17th and Pennsylvania side right here. I mean, take a look at where that actually took place. Here's how state regime media known as Fox is reporting. Here's what they had to say.
We have you by phone. Can you break this down for us?
Well, Tommy, this is what always happens when we have something like this. I always start to check in on the security situation at the White House, but this is what happened around 6 o'clock this evening. I'm told that a gunman came up near the White House on the west side, what is described to me as Gate 17. This is kind of near 14th Street on the west side of the White House, and came up and brandished some sort of a pistol. We don't know what type of pistol it was, but he then fired toward the White House 3 times. And the United States Secret Service, they returned fire. We don't know how many shots that they got off. And they apparently took the gunman down. Now, sometime in this gunfire exchange, a civilian on the street was struck by this gunfire, and we do not know the condition of that person right now. But the important thing to know is that the gunman who came up with the pistol and was taken down by the Secret Service, and we don't know his condition right now, but he never got inside the perimeter of the White House. And this is according to a senior administration official with direct knowledge of what went down at the White House this afternoon. This was right around 6 o'clock Eastern time.
Here's how they were reporting it on CNN.
We have breaking news. CNN reporters heard what appeared to be dozens of gunshots near the White House a short time ago. Julia Benbrook is now inside in the press briefing room. Julia, bring us up to speed what you heard and what you know.
Yeah, I'm here with other White House reporters, photographers. We are now in the briefing room. This is where Secret Service rushed us to after we heard what appeared to be dozens of gunshots. And I want to paint the picture for you a little bit. We're here in the briefing room, and then you can kind of see out the window. Secret Service is currently working the north lawn there to make sure everything is okay. But that's where we do live shots, is those green tents out there. And I was just speaking to you from out there just before this happened. And then reporters were rushed into the briefing room after, again, what appeared to be dozens of gunshots. Now, we have reached out to Secret Service and the White House for more information. This is all still unfolding. It is really unclear right now if anyone was injured. These gunshots, though, to be clear, appeared outside of the grounds closer to the EOB building, which is on the west side of the White House. So while we could hear them, we're not exactly sure where these took place. Again, if anyone was injured, we are waiting on more information. But just the visual of all these reporters running in here, this happening just about a month after the White House Correspondents' Dinner, where a lot of this same group was on the ground in a situation where there was a shooter there as well. A scary moment, and we are looking for more information, trying to understand exactly what happened here. What we do know is that we heard what appeared to be dozens of gunshots very close to the White House grounds.
So apparently they got the all clear sign right here after the White House was indeed on lockdown. The lockdown order had been lifted. Reporters were clear to leave the press briefing room after shots were fired near the White House. Let me share this with you right here.
We're taking a live look at this picture of the reporting teams now apparently cleared to leave that White House press briefing room. That's obviously a good sign, right, Jeffrey?
That would be a good sign. That means that the initial threat that they believed is either incapacitated or no longer present, or has been detained.
More footage over here of police responding to the scene close to the White House. Now, the incident over here took place at the exact same time that we learned about a potential peace deal that seemed to be going through between the Trump regime and Iran, which appeared to have been a total capitulation by Trump, basically surrendering everything to Iran. I'll do a whole other video on that. But the news was coming out that the U.S. was going to give Iran at least $25 billion, let Iran control the Strait of Hormuz, remove military presence in the area, permanent ceasefire, basically, and then agree maybe in 30 to 60 days to possibly talk about Iran's nuclear capabilities, but really push that back into some time in the future, maybe discuss it, but really give massive amounts of money to Iran and sanctions relief. You had lots of people coming out being very critical of, a lot of Donald Trump's inner circle being very, very critical. Lots of the war hawks very critical, and people were saying that this was just another disaster. You had that happening. Also, let's not forget that today Donald Trump said that he was going to be, it was his son's wedding today, Don Jr., and he said he would not be going to his son's wedding and he would be staying in Washington, D.C. and not going to Bedminster. That's why Donald Trump was in Washington, D.C. today, because he said that he was dealing with things relating to the government. Here was his post Friday. Well, I very much wanted to be with my son, Don Jr., and the newest member of the Trump family, his soon-to-be wife, Bettina. Circumstances pertaining to government and my love for the United States do not allow me to do so. I feel it's important for me to remain in Washington, D.C. at the White House during this important period of time. Congratulations to Don and Bettina. So he was there at this important period of time where then this incident took place. You also have the Iran's military spokesperson posting the end, and it's a photo of AI image of Donald Trump kissing the Ayatollah's feet and bowing down to the Ayatollah. So that's the latest of what's happening right now. We're going to keep you, of course, posted as we learn more. But that's the most up-to-date information. Again, these gunshots outside the White House, dozens of gunshots, 15 to 30 gunshots. White House on lockdown. They say 2 people were shot, one likely a suspect, the other maybe an innocent bystander who was shot as well. Apparently, the story is that the person shot at Secret Service. The Secret Service shot back. That's why we heard the dozens of shots. And now we know, and by the way, that all happened when this horrible deal, or apparently this utter surrender by Donald Trump was announced. There's a lot going on right now. I'll do an entirely other video on the Trump surrender. I predicted it was going to happen this morning, and it seems to have happened. So you make your own informed judgments about all of this, but that's what's going on right now. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.